All right, man.
Yes, that's good stuff.
Let's do this again.
We hope Coach
week.
is alive after celebrating, because it sounded like he was
Oh boy,
out celebrating the victory.
This is what it felt like when after Return of the Jedi, when the Empire was defeated.
Oh yeah, he's at the
I feel
Ewok
like
village. Is that what
I was
saying?
gonna say? I feel like dancing with Ewoks right now. Like
He's dancing with Ewoks.
Where's C-3PO? The Donut Bag is brought to you by Foco.com. The holiday season is here, and Foco has all kinds of unique Pittsburgh Pirates, Steelers, and Penguins items. They're the perfect gift for all sports fans. Order today at Foco.com for guaranteed shipping before Christmas. Be the MVP of gift giving this holiday season. And for a limited time, if you buy one bobblehead, you get the second one 25% off. That's www.foco.com, Foco.com. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the PodHub Network. In this episode, I recap the huge Patriots win with Jessie B, and I recap Week 15 in the NFL with regular Mark Hagelauer. Usually coaches with us, but he is still partying, I think. The Donut Bag starts right now. Steelers with a huge win over the Patriots, 17-10. With me to talk about it is Jessie B. He's at Jess_Bright. How are you?
Wow, it's crazy. I've been looking forward to this for, as long as I can remember. You know, the Patriots have been beating our asses for years. It's quite a day. It's been a great day.
I'm in shock. I don't know what to say. This was like I said this must be what it was like when we won World War II. This is like we defeated the evil empire.
Yeah, we really did. We came up and we did great things today. We beat the Patriots. I mean, that's all that needs to be said, really.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm in shock. Everything that I thought would happen didn't happen. I thought it would be one of those high-scoring games where Brady just throws the Gronk a million times for 8,000 yards and they just go down the field. And it kind of started that way. Steelers decide to take the ball first, and they drive down the field and score touchdowns. Like, okay, great. And then immediately New England just throws a touchdown. It was, I forget, it was a 60-some yarder to Hogan.
Yeah, wide open play. He was just busted coverage right down the field, streak.
At that point, I kind of lost it. I was so angry. I was just mad at the defense. And I was just tired of them. You know, I thought it was going to be one of those games where the Steelers would have to win like 43-42 or something like that. And that wasn't the case. They basically shut down the Patriots. So you got to hand it to the defense. What do you think was the biggest factor in this game?
For me personally, what I think they did is they played better X's and O's football than the Patriots. Tomlin came out here and had a good game plan. He did better than he's done. Instead of giving the ball to the gunslinger Ben and just telling him to go out there and win the game, they played X's and O's football, and it turned into a win. And this is a team that I think is obviously there. It's just, are we going to keep tapping into it every week? You know, we got the Saints next week. It's going to be a big week. I mean, are we just going to give Ben the ball and tell him to go out there and score more points than them? Because that's not the game plan they had today. They didn't go out there and try to score more points. They came out there and actually just held them. You know, Joe Hayden with his big interception and, you know, everything that happened. They did a great job. You know, I mean, there's negative parts of the game, but all around, I think it was any day we beat the Patriots is a great day in my opinion.
Here's what drives me crazy. The past 3 or 4 games, they just abandoned the run. They didn't even try. And this game, they just ran it down their throats. Like they embraced the run, and who'd have thought Jalen Samuels would get 142 carries, 142 yards on 19 carries? That's I don't know. That was a shocker to me.
And then James Washington came out there and had a humongous game for us and saved. I mean, all these players that nobody's heard of. I mean, everybody knows. Obviously, James Washington hasn't really been doing much for us, but Jalen Samuels and James Washington came out here and helped us win this game when they've been, they're backups. James Washington really hasn't done shit for us for the entire season, and then we win the game over our biggest, our Darth Vader. We beat them with Jalen Samuels, James Washington, all over a great win.
We blew up the Death Star. We did. That's what it feels like. It feels like we defeated the Empire. Oh man, but yeah, James Washington has basically done nothing all year. 3 catches, 65 yards, huge plays. Eli Rogers had 4 catches for 20 yards in his first game. That was a huge thing because that was a big problem with the Steelers is they didn't have any, besides Antonio Brown and Juju, like who else do you have? And they came up big today.
Had a lot of players step up that needed to step up, so I'm happy. I've been looking for them to beat the Patriots for as long as I can remember, and today for me was honestly a national holiday. I've been planning this out all year, so to watch them beat the Patriots in the fashion they did, and it's just amazing.
Beautiful.
Watch Brady leave the field with his head hung low. It's a great feeling.
I don't, I have some people I talk to that are Patriots fans, and they're basically, during the game, someone said both of these teams stink, and so it's like it's I don't think this is your typical Patriots teams that from the past, but still I don't care. We beat them.
Oh yeah, this isn't the same Patriots we've played over the years, and honestly, going out you would expect a 40-50 game, nothing but offense, but Tomlin really went out there and let the defense play defense, and surprisingly to everybody, they actually did very well against Tom Brady, which, I was blown away. I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah, for as much crap as Tomlin got last week, probably deserved for not putting in Ben and that whole business and losing to Oakland, to go in to recover like that. And I think that's Tomlin's biggest attribute is when there's chaos and when there's been so much chaos and drama surrounding this team the past couple years, he's able to keep the team together. And they could have easily fallen apart so many times this past week with everything that went wrong in Oakland, and for them to all come together, just huge.
I will say I was a little worried because the team, after a big loss in Oakland, the team was nonchalant about it. Like, they weren't worried. They didn't seem in panic mode. They were just, it was daily business. They were looking to the Patriots. With that type of mentality, I was expecting a loss to the Patriots.
I was so worried. Yeah, I just had a feeling that the Steelers would win, just because when you lose a bunch of games in a row, to me it's I don't know, law of averages. They call it hidden vigorish, whatever you want to call it. When if you win a bunch in a row, you have a good chance of losing. If you lose a bunch in a row, you have a good chance of winning. And they're just too good to they lost 3 in a row before this. It's like they're better than that. So yeah, I'm just but still, no matter what, it seems like the Patriots always had the Steelers number. But oh man, they came through today.
This was a big one for us. Not to take away from the Patriots, they're still a fantastic team that if we see them in the playoffs, they'll obviously give us trouble, because playoff Patriots are just that's a team right there you don't want nothing a part of. You don't want to be on the business end of them,
especially in New England.
Ooh, that's
they're
in their losing streak. the Super Bowl's not going through New England this year.
Right. If they're if they don't get one of those top 2 seeds, we'll see. But wow.
I believe I was listening to your podcast the other day, and I think you had, or it was either that or 97 Fan. It was one of the two. They had a Patriots talkhead on there. He was talking about how he's worried if the Patriots don't get a top seed to get the bye week, because apparently the Patriots don't do well when going into the playoffs after not having a bye week. They kind of slide off.
Right. They're so used to getting one of those top seeds and getting that extra week and getting all those home games. And if they don't get that, because all of their losses this year have been on the road. So that doesn't bode well for them. I just think it's not the same team as in previous years. Gronk did nothing. How many times can you say that about a Steelers-Patriots game? Usually Gronk has like 150 yards and 10 catches and just torches them, and he did absolutely nothing. He had 2 catches for 21 yards. That's it. He was basically non-existent. So I think something's wrong with him. I think Brady might not be totally right, but yeah, they might not be the same team, but they're still 9-5, so they're still, they still have a good record. So we'll see. So what do you think of the Steelers' outcome this year? Do you think they'll go far in the playoffs, or do you think they're just ridiculously inconsistent?
This is what I don't understand. We have the same problem every year. Why don't we maybe try to fix them? So, the season could go anyway. We beat the Patriots. That's huge for us. This is like our Super Bowl. It almost feels like. This was a game I'm looking forward to forever. From the beginning of the season, I'm like, I cannot wait for Patriots. So, we beat the Patriots. Does the season go downhill from there? Do we just hit our peak and we fall? There's a ton of ways we could go. If Tomlin plays like he did today, where he, has a good game plan, goes out there and does his X's and O's instead of just kind of all over the place, I think we could do okay. But we play the Saints next week, which is going to be a big test of us. Because the Saints, that's a hell of a team right there. And I think Bengals are going to give us a good run too. So the season could go anyway. We're still on the outside of the playoff skirt right now.
I think the season can all go down to that last game against the Bengals. I agree. I think for 2 reasons the Steelers are going to lose to the Saints. One, it's the Saints. It's in New Orleans. And 2, I think there'll be a massive letdown. I think like you said, we basically just won the Super Bowl. It's our Super Bowl basically. I feel like there has to be a huge letdown after a game like this. So it would not surprise me at all if they lost to the Saints, and then it all might come down to the Bengals at home December 30th to determine whether they make the playoffs or whether they win the division, or who knows. But it could be really interesting.
We need the Ravens to keep on. They got a win today over Tampa Bay, over a crazy win. We really need them to keep on sliding. But I don't know. The Ravens are doing okay, fortunately.
They need to start losing. They keep winning. They've won 4 out of their last 5, but they are at the Chargers next week, and then their final game is against the Browns. And the Browns are looking good, so they do not have 2 easy games. So this could be very interesting. But the Ravens look pretty good. Their defense is crazy, and they came real close to beating Kansas City in Kansas City. So they're real solid. So it's going to be real interesting these last 2 weeks.
It is. Theoretically, say we make it to the playoffs. How do you feel? There's a couple of, the Kansas City, the Chargers, the Patriots. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC for us to have to go through to beat. Do you feel comfortable with us in the playoffs?
I think you could. I think they're just insanely inconsistent. I think this is a team that could beat the best team in the playoffs, or could lose